Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've seen you all yesterday. Thank you for coming and joining us today. We love you so much. We've been lonely every weekend without you. Thank you for coming and joining us. From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Louder! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! 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 Israel! USA! Palestine! Will be free!
Live, work and operate on country here, and I'm so proud that I'm connected here and responsible for this country that you're all gathered upon. It's a responsibility that all traditional custodians have, and in that responsibility what we want is connection, peace and love. And that
Thank you, Anas. It's also very important to take part in rallies. The more the number is better. Because as you know, governments, they do track how many numbers turn up each week. So it really helps when we have crowds like this every week turning up until the day where they find a good solution to solve the problem for both Israel and Palestine. Okay, my next guest is Dr. Jamal from Nablus. Come and help you with.
We'll start just by reiterating that we're on Yugambeh land, and it's really crucial that we acknowledge that fact as we're here fighting for the land that's been and is being stolen from us, Palestinians. As we're marching for Palestine here, we walk over stolen land ourselves. Land that was never ceded, land in which Indigenous sovereignty endures.
Encapsulates an unimaginable amount of pain and despair and surpasses human comprehension. Imagine suddenly leaving your home, your kingdom, where everything is familiar, and you have your own rules and ways of living, and ending up in a place where people think and act differently. The initial shock of this displacement is overwhelming, and its lingering impact varies based on...
Jamal, I'm reporting another Jamal, Habib Jamal. Please come on over. Thank you.
Thank you, Brisbane. Thank you, Gold Coast, for turning up today. We really need your support. I'm going to quote from the Minister, the Foreign Minister of South Africa, Naledi Pandor. South Africa is not a rich country like the other Arab nations. We don't have million-dollar empires. We are not built on fuel that can supply the whole world. Our rulers are not Muslim, and they are not Arab. So let it go down in the books of history that while the Arab leaders sat on the economical thrones of wealth, as the Arab leaders sat on the economical thrones of wealth as silent pawns of a Western away from Melbourne and a founding board member of Olive Kids. Nasser is the son of a Palestinian refugee. With his father's legacy in mind, Nasser is determined to continue the struggle for justice and a free Palestine. And we say to Nasser, we're with you today and we're with you always. Thank you.
Thank you, Habib. And thank you everyone for coming out. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Thank you also very much. I want to thank Habib and the crew that invited me up, and I had such a warm, wonderful welcome in the mosque today, and to see all you out here today. Thank you so very much for coming out. Round of applause, please. I'd like to acknowledge that we are here, we're standing on stolen land. And there's one thing you take away from today, I want you to take this away. That the fight for Indigenous rights here is the fight for Palestinian rights there, is the fight for Indigenous rights and rights of every oppressed person all over this great earth. Because Palestine won't be free if our Indigenous brothers and sisters here aren't free. Palestine won't be free if our Rohingyas, our Uyghurs, our West Papuans, our queer folk, if everyone's not free. We are all free when we are all free. Yes. This land always was and always will be Aboriginal. And you should never acknowledge traditional owners. To acknowledge a traditional owner is to suggest that it's a past tense. They always were and always will be the owners, as Palestine always will be and always will be Palestinian. I think it's really important for us to acknowledge the great Yemeni people before we do anything else. When our Prime Minister finally got out and condemned
He didn't condemn the slaughter in Palestine. He didn't condemn the 4% of the population. 4% of the population in Gaza that is dead or maimed. To give you some idea, that's 1 million Australians. Yeah? 4%. He didn't condemn that. He condemned the fact that shipping containers couldn't get through the Red Sea. Shame. And the poorest country on earth did its job as a signatory to the ICJ to stop a genocide. They've not hurt anyone, they've not killed anyone, they've just said there'll be no arms going to Israel on our watch. There is honour in stopping the killing, there is honour in participating in the blockade, there is honour in boycotting, divesting and sanctioning the apartheid state. And we won't forget, Albo. We're not going to forget. Are you going to forget? No! Don't you dare. I want to read a couple of lines from a Lutheran preacher, Dr. Mungo Isaac at Bethlehem, just before Christmas. He said, we the Palestinians will recover, we will rise, we will stand up again from the midst of destruction, as we have always done as Palestinians. But for those who are complicit, I feel sorry for you. We will recover. Will you ever recover? Your charity and your words of shock after the genocide won't make a difference. And let me say it, we will not accept your apology after you realize it was a genocide. What has been done, and it happened on your watch with the impunity you afforded apartheid Israel. Shame! I want to thank each and every one of you. It's been 90 odd days. We're fast approaching the 100th day. 100 days of death, destruction, silence. Silence from a compliant Western mainstream media, but not silence from you. Yesterday, 5 million Yemenis got out of the street after they were bombed. 5 million! There's no silence there. The global south is aware. The world is on trial. The International Court of Justice, those judges think they're presiding over a case. No, you're on trial. We know it's a genocide. We want to know whether you care about your next cushy job or you're going to tell the truth about what's happening and stop the killing. Gaza might be on one knee, but it is unbroken and unbreakable. The indigenous spirit, indigenous people, their connection to the land is a connection that is rooted in the soil, in the generations of their forefathers that are buried there. Indigenous people don't bomb land. Indigenous people toil land. You don't bomb land that is yours. You bomb land that you want to steal. We must keep marching, we must keep speaking truth to power, we must keep building our movement. I've got ages to go. Okay. I thought you were winding me up. I've got about 2 hours to go, ladies and gentlemen, so get comfortable. The thing that our movement gives, that the Zionist movement doesn't give, is inclusion. When they bomb, we hug. When they kill, we love. And that connects every one of our Indigenous struggles, as I said, all over the world. Because solidarity is a verb. It's a doing word, it's an action, it's coming out today. It's speaking to your unions, your workplaces, your family, your friends. And if you lose friends for Palestine, good. They're not your friends. These people that are silent now would have been silent in Rwanda. They were silent in Srebrenica. They would have been silent in the Holocaust. Those that stand up for a shared humanity stand together because we care about each other regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our religion, regardless of our identity or our gender. As humans, we stand together. As we defeated apartheid in South Africa, we will defeat apartheid in Palestine, but together. It didn't happen from the top. Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher were shaking hands with those dirty racists in South Africa. It was the people that changed the world. Wear your keffiyeh, wear your flag. I caught a Qantas flight today in my t-shirt and walked through the lobby and the lounge proudly. I got acknowledged by all of the security guards, by tons of workers in there. I got the odd ugly stare, but I tend to think that's because they're just jealous of how pretty I am. But I caught the plane, unashamed, proud, resilient, standing up because it's the least we can do. If you get sacked for pro-Palestine activism, stand tall, be proud.
Yes.
There is no better reason to lose your job.
Yes.
There's no better reason. And when you do go out, if you do go out in a blaze of Palestinian glory, wave your keffiyeh high, play the music, Dammi Palestini. Do not leave them quietly. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing peak Israeli Zionist racism. Unchecked settler colonialism aided and abetted by a compliant West. What you are seeing today live is what happened on this continent 230, 250 years ago. The difference is only in the sophistication of the weaponry. The disparity in power was the same. When the colonialists came here, they came with steel and muskets and bullets to spears and bows. There is no power equivalence there. With horses. What you're seeing in Gaza is what happened here, what happened on Turtle Island, what happened in Aotearoa. And so you need to remember to connect that struggle, our struggle, with this struggle. So on Invasion Day, don't be celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate on Invasion Day. On Invasion Day, you come out for our Indigenous brothers and sisters as they have come out for us. Because our liberation is their liberation as their liberation is ours. Our strength is connected to that simple adherence in a shared humanity. And forgive me for going on about it because their society, the West, has conditioned us to believe that we're individuals. Because that's what this society has taught us to do. Hoard. You've got a loaf of bread. You've got 3 cars. You're doing really well. In Indigenous culture, in a society that works, if there are 2 people and 1 loaf of bread, everybody's got half a loaf. If there are 10 people, we get 2 slices each. If there are 20 people, we get a slice each. If there are 50, we get half a piece of bread each. That's how society is supposed to work. There's not supposed to be homelessness. There isn't supposed to be incarceration. We don't need police to police and protect property. We need to be able to look after each other, and that world that we dream of foundationally is in love. There will be people who want to come to Palestine and our cause, and they will come because they say, we hate Jews too. Be clear and loud to them, there is no place here if you hate Jews. Our Jewish brothers and sisters are facing their fight, and their fight is our fight. Their fight as a child of Abraham is our fight as a child of Abraham to share in Abraham's land together. So if somebody comes to you with hate, turn them away. We don't need them. We don't want them. There is no room for supremacy here, whatever that supremacy is. If you are a supremacist, there is room for you in the Liberal Party. There is no room for you here. The liberation of humanity is secular. Each of us has our own belief system, and that is ours and our right to have. But we must hold true to a belief that we must be judged on the content of our character, not the colour of our skin. As Martin Luther King said so many years ago, it's true then, it's true now. That fight, your fight, our fight, the Palestinians that are dying today in Gaza, to give you the exemplar, is to encourage you to go out and fight that fight together. Speak amongst your friends, your family. I'll keep saying it just takes one of us. My dad used to speak at rallies. They were great rallies, I got to tell you. They weren't a lot of fun because it was my two brothers, my mum and I. I used to say to my dad, Dad, I want to play in the footy team. He goes, you can't play in the footy team, we might have to rally this weekend. I said, Dad, but it's only just us. He goes, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I've spoken at rallies to my mum and my three brothers after, my two brothers after my father passed, and to my wife and my kids. But I know when I see the pictures all over the world, in our thousands and in our millions, in our thousands, in our millions, and Palestine is the most visible example. And it's a visible example because settler colonialism did not succeed there. Settler colonialism, whether on this continent, in Aotearoa, in Turtle Island, everywhere is predicated on the all but, or ideally successful, extinguishing of the native. Here, the job was almost complete. Thankfully, there's still 2% or so of our population that has indigenous blood and are indigenous. In Palestine, we are 52%. We represent the opportunity to win. Anyone that tells you that Palestine and Israel is not about empire is not paying attention. 2 aircraft carriers. And for those that aren't military buffs or whatever, an aircraft carrier floats with a flotilla of 10 to 15 ships. So 2 aircraft carriers is like 30 or 40 ships, as well as those aircraft carriers. Perhaps 100,000 American troops. A nuclear submarine. 1 nuclear submarine can end life on Earth. Gaza is the size of the Gold Coast. 30 or 40 ships, a nuclear submarine. Biden has been. Blinken has been 5 times now. Richie Sunak from the UK. Macron from France. We even said bumbling ScoMo. Penny's on her way. If you don't think that the fight for Palestine is a fight for a better tomorrow for all of us, wake up. Tell your friends, the fight for Palestine is a better world for all of us. Because when that racist settler ideology of white supremacy known as Zionism is defeated, we become the first of many dominoes for a far, far, far better world. And I know we're talking about a ceasefire, but we don't need a ceasefire only. We need to cease occupation. We need to cease racism. We need to cease settlement building. We need to cease oppression. We need to cease white supremacy, and we need a world for all. I want to again thank our dear friends, our Indigenous brothers and sisters, particular Auntie who welcomed us earlier on with the most beautiful welcome, Auntie. Thank you so very much. Where is she? Thank you, sis. We love you and you mean the world to us, and we know how hard it is for you to see what your people have been through, but to know that we are with you until our last breath too. Israel is not content with destroying buildings. It's not content with destroying schools. It's not content with destroying civil infrastructure and hospitals. It kills our people. It kills our men, our women, our children. It kills our artists. It kills our academics. Got a phone call saying we're coming to get you. And he was staying in a college. And he knows how sophisticated Israel's genocidal weaponry is. And he knew if he stayed,
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
he knew if he stayed, that all the kids would die with him. So he left and tried to hide. And unfortunately, he died with family members, but he saved so many others. He's got a poem, and I'm going to read the poem out in a second. Was somebody else going to read the poem? So there's some things that you need to do other than activating in your workplaces and union to families and friends, and that is to go to the Boycott, Divestments and Sanctions website and heed those calls. Now I know there's heaps of lists about everything you can boycott, and you just can't boycott everything. It's impossible. What actually works is if we all do one thing together. Yeah, when the whole world is focused, and we were all focused on Puma, and we said to Puma, whilst you sponsor the Israeli soccer team, we will not buy your blood-soaked sneakers. And in the midst of all the carnage, Puma said, we're out. And we said, great, you're out, we'll almost forgive you, end the contract. They said December 24. I said, well, you're still out until January 25. But it works when we all do it together. The targets are Hewlett-Packard. If you have a Hewlett-Packard, that's fine. Don't buy another one. If you have some influence over the buying decisions of your workplace, make sure they don't buy a Hewlett-Packard. Hewlett-Packard is complicit in the occupation, in the imagery, in the sophistication that Israel is able to kill Dr. Ahmadinejad. Hewlett-Packard is doing that. HP. AXA, if you've got any investments with AXA, divest from them. While you're on that, go to our BDS website, look up the superannuation campaign. We've got a campaign going, we've got over 7,000 people there, we need to get to 10,000 so that we can demand that our super funds divest from supporting apartheid and this genocide. SodaStream, if you see one of your friends and they've got a SodaStream, it's too late, don't yell at them, they've already got it. Use it as a teaching point to explain to them why they shouldn't have a SodaStream so they can tell their friends. Ahava Cosmetics. Don't buy that shit. You're all beautiful anyway because you're Palestinians, yeah? So we don't need that stuff. Obella and Saba dips. Don't buy that stuff. It's easy enough to make hummus or balanouj and stuff. Look it up. Do not buy that stuff. You're only funding apartheid. So make sure you go to the BDS website, look at that stuff. Obviously McDonald's and Starbucks as well. Because of each and every one of you here, things are changing. Nowhere near far enough, but they are changing. And we are going to make a huge impact in 25 in the federal election. And we're going to make an even bigger impact in 28. But you need to remember this now. You need to remember this, Rage. Because you need to know that Palestinians will not be conquered. They will not be defeated, but they need you. They don't need your pity, they need you to stand up in solidarity with them. They need your voice, your passion, your advocacy and your work. Somebody's going to be okay, cool. As Malcolm X said, you can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace until he has his freedom. What do we want? Freedom! What do we want? Freedom! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! In our thousands, in our millions! We are all Palestinians! Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nasser. Thank you so much. So much informative. As Nasser mentioned, this is not about politics. This is not about religion, this is about humanity. So no matter where you come from, no matter what religious belief you have, or no matter what your language that you speak, at the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters in humanity. Therefore, we should extend love, respect each other, and be compassionate to one another. Thank you very much, and I'll pass the line to Remy. Hi, everyone. Shame! Shame! A poor country like Yemen that haven't killed anyone, they're just trying to end the genocide of our brothers in Palestine. Shame! Shame! Thank you guys so much. And free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Thank you so much, guys, and keep showing up.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you very much. The next speaker is the President of the Islamic Society of the Gold Coast, Haji Hassan Ghosh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our dear brothers before me have said everything. There's a couple of things I didn't say. We are sick of the bullshit. We are sick of the lies. We are sick of the killings. We are sick of the genocide. We are sick of governments supporting Israel when they can see that injustice is happening. All you coming here today, and all you brothers and sisters that continue to come here today, are standing up for rights, standing up for what is just, standing up for, at the end of the day, that Palestine will prevail. Yeah. They will prevail. Inshallah is an Arabic word, and it means God willing. And I'll end on this note. I'm not going to drag it out. Inshallah, the war will be won. The war will be won by our Palestinian brothers and sisters, and everyone that joins them around the world for jihad. Takbir! Takbir! And takbir! Jazakallah.
Thank you, Haji Hassan. All right, the next speaker and the performer is Brother Wanda.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, peace be upon you all. As usual, we're gonna continue all the way together, exposing those savages, occupiers, and we'll keep calling for our freedom. We're gonna keep calling for liberation, for humanity, for Palestinian.
I want to start just by reiterating that we're on Yugambeh land, and it's really crucial that we acknowledge that fact as we're here fighting for the land that's been and is being stolen from us, Palestinians. As we're marching for Palestine here, we walk over stolen land ourselves. Land that was never ceded, land in which indigenous sovereignty endures.
Always. I'm reporting another Jamal, Habib Jamal. Please come on over. Thank you.
Thank you, Brisbane. Thank you, Gold Coast, for turning up today. We really need your support. I'm going to quote from the minister, the foreign minister of South Africa, Naledi Pandor. South Africa is not a rich country like the other Arab nations. We don't have million-dollar empires. We are not built on fuel that can supply the whole world. Our rulers are not Muslim, and they are not Arab. So let it go down in the books of history that while the Arab leaders sat on the economical thrones of wealth, as the Arab leaders sat on the economical thrones of wealth,
and the wisdom that they've passed on to us over the generations. Ladies and gentlemen, I look around and I see you, different nationalities, different backgrounds, different beliefs. Yet we stand here today for a single cause, united for a single struggle. Our voice one. Our voice for the people of Palestine. And today we stand here and we say, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. As we stand here today, I must call out one uncle amongst the crowd. This uncle's name is Abu Muhammad. He's from the Hassouna family. And that family in the last 93 days.
God bless every person residing Gaza. Every human should feel, if you have a children and they get sick, you rush to the doctor. What about those children who are dying? What about the mother who is dying and the father? All of us, we should work, tell all our people where we live. Made them hear the voice of Gaza. Made them hear the voice of Gaza children, the mothers. We should on the media try to put as much as we can to show the world, to show those people who are just sleeping. They are not seeing, not hearing. They don't want to hear what's happening. Israel.
Yet intentionally and actively change the system for the collective without their consent or knowledge. You have to be so powerless that you seemingly have no voice or choice. We talk about the USA and how their taxpayer dollars are funding the killing, ethnic cleansing, and eradication of Palestinians for the last 75 years and nearly 100 days. Unfortunately, with 26 million people in Australia, we are no different. To live in this system is to earn and pay money, whether you like it or not. And that hard-earned money is taxed straight from your pockets to quite literally fund this genocide. Take it literally and genuinely. All of us here today are complicit within this genocide, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how little or big you care about what is happening in Palestine. We are all being played like a deck of cards. And the
people that are going to do recordings, if you want to do the recording for I Stand With Gaza. And then we have a few people going to walk around.
So that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze, and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself. Seize the kite, my kite you made, flying up above. And thinks for a moment, an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Long live 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 Palestine! Thank you, thank you, thank you.